had nothing to do with Rob at all.
But do you think it's a bit weird that, like, we preach sitting right there that we all are going to back and stand on the decision that we made as together? You were claiming you had no part in it. And
I never said I had no part in it.
Well, I guess for anyone who wondered why Rob stayed in the villa, he's finally revealed his mission. His mission was to take down Leah, and he has managed to do that. And also, I don't feel any empathy towards Cordell anymore. I'm sorry, he's made his bed, he needs to lay in it. The audacity to continue to eat whatever Serena's giving him doesn't make sense after what happened during the last challenge. And then, the bombshells. I think Nigel would be better for, Jaina than Kenny, but that's just my opinion. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island USA, Season 6, Episode 13. I'm already thinking of Eggate 2.0, because if Serena doesn't get her way this time with the new bombshells, there's going to be tears. There's going to be tears. I can bet anything that there is going to be tears. Because the guys are then asked, so who's your top two? They both say Leah and Janaea. Nobody mentions Serena, even though she's sitting there. And it's like, this is not good. This is not good. Kendall shouldn't have asked, and the guys shouldn't have answered. They should have just said, all girls look amazing. We're still undecided. Because now this has already made her feel some type of way. So if any of the other girls moves in any way, she's going to feel attacked, because she is already starting on the back foot, because both guys are not feeling her. She's not in their top two. I personally feel like the way she's dealt with Cordell is the reason why the guys are put off by her, because nobody wants to be in a position whereby you're putting a lot of effort into someone, they mug you off, and then they come back and they say, okay, I'm willing to do the work, and then they start again mugging you off. Nobody wants to go through that. So you have, Kenny, he pulls Leah for a chat. Well, he's talking about her beauty. That was a very superficial conversation. There was nothing there. I don't think he's ready for a serious relationship. I know he likes Janaea, but I don't think he has the experience it takes to date someone like Janaea. I think she's way too advanced than he is, and there'll always be a lot of problems. I think they might couple up if need be in the villa, but at some point, either Janaea is going to have to do some work in Casa to find somebody else, or they won't last on the outside world. I loved Janaea's conversation with Nigel. Oh my God, that was amazing. That's a conversation you should have. They were talking about a broad range of subjects, really wanting to know the person behind the face, because she was talking about her travel. She talked about, the activities that she did during her travel and what she learned. And he also talked about wanting to train for a triathlon. I loved that. And the fact that she offered to teach him swimming lessons because she learned swimming when she was traveling. This was a good conversation. There was nothing about, you look stunning or whatever. They spoke about their birthdays. Apparently, they are both born in the same birthday month. I thought that was Serena. I must have misunderstood that conversation. But they really seemed at ease, and they really seemed comfortable. And even Nigel said he didn't want the conversation to end, which is sweet to see. Then you had the Kendall conversation with Cassidy. I don't know. Leo's problem is the way he treats the girls, the way they stop paying him attention. So he wants to be a girl's center of attention, and the moment she turns her back or she looks back, he is gone and he throws a fit. But if he is moving on, everybody else should clap their hands and say, amazing, well done, that's a good job. Because you even have Nicole sort of confiding in Kayla that he guilted me when I was trying to get to know Miguel, and yet he was the first person to jump ship. And when he jumped ship, I should be okay with that. And it's like, girl, you should have learned from how he treated Hannah. The way he treated Hannah is the way he's going to treat his next girl. And the way he's treating you now, he's going to treat the next girl he couples up with. So it's nothing new. You have Serena. She goes for a chat with Nigel. I don't know, really. I don't know. I don't think Serena is Nigel's type. I think Serena, the way she's moved in the villa, has put a lot of the guys off. Sadly for her, she doesn't have the sort of capability, or she doesn't have the capacity, or people don't have the patience to put up with any of her mess as they would with Leah. And because of the way she treated Cordell, everybody's going to be sort of a bit skeptical when it comes to her, because you still have Cordell sort of moaning, oh, she played me. She said, she was still working on this. She was happy with where we were progressing very well. And so for her to sort of turn against me, and it's like, Cordell, the more you talk, the more you put people off this girl. Sadly, the more you talk, the more you put people off this girl, because the viewers are seeing this, and you confirming it is just turning people away from her. And sadly, I wouldn't be surprised at the next dumping if she's the one dumped. Whether or not she's in a couple, people are going to vote when they say favorite couples, just to send her home because of the way she's treated you. And she hasn't been smart about it. I think she should have stayed on the board, and should have then had a conversation with you to say that though I've stayed, as I've told you before, I still want to get to know other people. But she decided to play stupid games, and now she's in trouble, because I think she knew a bombshell was coming in. I think she suspected a bombshell was coming in. This is why she stood there, and she wanted the opportunity to sort of explore the bombshell, because all the guys in the villa, I think, really like Cordell, and no one is willing to entertain her or entertain anything to do with her. So she's in trouble. She really is in trouble. I don't know whether she'll be able to turn one of the bombshell's heads, but hey, it is what it is. So the rest of the islanders come down to meet the new bombshells. And I'm very glad that once they all sort of reunited, the bombshells were vague in who they were wanted to match up with. The boys decided not to be very open with who they were interested in or who was in their top two, which made sense. You had, the bombshells sort of saying that they want to know everybody. And I liked the fact, even Jaina called out Cassidy, because Cassidy was giving PR answers, and Jaina said to her, your answers are very well coordinated. They're very well thought out. And she said, well, I'm in PR, this is why. But you could tell some of the guys were interested in Cassidy. You could tell some of them were really keen to get to know her and see what was going on there. And it's like, well, I don't know. For me, I think with Cassidy, I don't know. Well, she was smart, because she said some of the guys that she liked, when she saw how they behaved, that sort of was off-putting for her. So I don't know how they are going to sort of navigate this whole scenario, in the sense that, yeah, she's been put off by the guys, but then what's next for her? What is she going to do? Has she decided that she won't couple up with anyone at all? Or is she going to continue to try to explore connections with those people that were off-putting for her? And then with Nicole, I get where Nicole is coming from, and I get her anger with the girls, that why are you supporting this guy? Because they saw how he treated Hannah. They saw how he treated Nicole when she was getting to know Miguel. And for them to say he's trying to protect his heart, I think it's just because they're close friends with him. This is why they're backing him. But otherwise, if they were not close friends with him, they would see that what he's doing is wrong, and he shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have been vindictive. If he likes this girl, then he needs to stand up and show that he likes her. And she as well is being hypocritical, because if you are open to getting to know Miguel, unless you've completely shut down things with Miguel, you can't complain to say, why is he saying he's open to getting to know people? That's a very complicated scenario. I wish he had stood up and gone and pulled her for a chat, but he's decided to sit by the fire pit and sort of complain that, why is she kicking off? I am just doing what's in my best interest. And it's like, well, once is a mistake, twice is a pattern. And you've done this before. We've all watched it, so we're not surprised as to why you're moving the way you're moving. You had Serena pull Kendall for a chat. And for me, I don't even see the purpose of that chat. I really don't, because we all know that she's not keen on this guy. We all know that. It's nothing new. And so for her to suddenly want to pretend like she really likes him and she's really all into him, well, if that's what works for you, good for you. If that's what works for you, good for you, because we are not buying it. It doesn't make sense how you can go from disliking someone and then suddenly you are liking them, and then you dislike them again, and then you like them again. Make it make sense. Make a choice. Make a decision of what you want to do in regards to this guy. Do you like him enough to be in a relationship with him, or don't you like him? That's it. So the islanders go to sleep, and early hours of the morning, Nigel receives a text message to say, they're going on a date, so they should choose the one person that they would go with, or they would love to go with. So Nigel chose Serena, and you had Kenny pick Janaea. I still wanted Janaea to go with Nigel. I think he's more mature, and I think he would be more her speed. And then you had Cassie. She chose to go with, surprise, she chose to go with Oh my God, my mind is blanking with Miguel. Am I surprised? Yeah, I think she was put off by Kendall. Whatever he said to her was off-putting enough for her to say, "Nah, he's not it. He's not it." And I think that's what she meant by, some of the people I would have really liked to have a connection with them, but then seeing their character and some of the things they've done have been off-putting. And I think her conversation didn't impress her. They all go out on the date, and it was cute. It was really cute. But I don't know. I feel some type of way about Kenny and Janaea. I think Janaea deserved Nigel, and now because Nigel has picked Serena, it's going to be a problem for her to sort of explore anything with Nigel. Yeah, it was cute to see them swim and sort of snorkel and just have drinks and just have conversations. I loved that for them. Back at the villa, everybody else wakes up to find out that, the guys have gone, and they just assume that they've gone on a date. This was humbling for Kendall. In my opinion, because he thought he was number one with Cassie. So for her to pick somebody else was humbling for him. It was humbling because he didn't expect that. So I don't know. We'll see how it plays out, but I feel like that's the main reason. Aaron has decided to show his love for Rob. He's infatuated with Rob. I think if they were going to have a same-sex sort of couple, he would be in a couple with Rob, because he pulls Leah for a chat and he sort of asks her, "Can you tell me what happened? How did you all come up to the conclusion that Andrea was the person you're going to sort of send home?" And Leah sort of sticks to her guns and says, "Well, I took the back seat because I didn't want Rob to think that I had done anything out of spite. I didn't want it to seem as though I had chosen to send Andrea home so that I could have him to myself." And you could see that he's already about to be messy. He's already about to run with the tea in the villa, because when Rob asked the girls, he was there, he was listening in. And surprise, surprise, Kendall pulls Nicole for a chat. What do I think? I think he pulled Nicole for a chat just because he's realized that he doesn't stand a shot with Cassidy, and because he doesn't want to go home and he still wants to be in the villa, this is why he's pulled Nicole for a chat. I think because he's realized that he doesn't stand a chance with Cassidy, he's decided to go and have a conversation with Nicole. And so should Nicole forgive him? I don't know. I think if she has no other option in the villa, yes, she can, just to stay in the villa, but then as soon as possible, she needs to dump him because he's for the streets. He's not it. If he is that disrespectful to his partner the moment they try to explore a connection, and he's okay with exploring a connection himself, then he's not for you, baby girl. You need to keep it moving and look for someone who's going to prioritize you and is going to be accommodating because they understand the concept of the show. It's interesting that the boys were really trying to get a kiss, the Bombshells. I don't think it was them. I think it was the producers asking for a kiss, and the girls were good enough to say no. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to just be another, girl that somebody can brag about having kissed. I think with Serena, I think it was strategic because she refused to kiss Cordell for a while because she said she's a slow burn. And so as much as she's making out that she likes Nigel, I think this was strategic on her part because she knew that if Nigel doesn't pick her, because he's already said she's not in his top two, then she's going to be in trouble. She won't know how to sort of explain that to Cordell when she comes back to the villa. You had the conversation, obviously, between Aaron and Lev, and he's sort of trying to make it be known that Leah is lying to the girls and is throwing the girls under the bus. I'm going to say again, Aaron needs to couple up with Rob because his infatuation with Rob is a bit over the top. Liv felt some type of way, and she's justified in feeling some type of way because you don't want someone, if you make a decision as a group, to turn around and then wash their hands and say, no, actually, I wasn't there, when they were actually maybe at the forefront. Aaron then ran back and sort of reported to Rob, and it's like, please, mind your own business. You're in a couple. Mind your own couple and focus on that and see how that's going. Leave everybody else's business alone. Otherwise, this is going to backfire on you. You had the girls sort of just sitting around having a conversation. That's when you had Cordell sort of saying to the guys, I hope Serena didn't kiss this guy because she told me she was a slow burn. So if she kissed this guy, I'm going to feel some type of way because she didn't kiss me for a long time, saying that. And it's like, Cordell, why do you still envision anything to do with Serena? Serena has shown you who she is and where she stands. What do you want her to do? Do you want her to actually literally tell you that I am not feeling you, please leave me alone? Because she's told you already that there's no romantic spark. You've kept going because you thought you could turn her. it hasn't worked, you need to keep it moving. You need to try something else, because otherwise you're just making a fool of yourself every single time that you try and sort of explore something with her and she's not feeling you. So if I were you, I would go and try it with somebody else and see if someone else is maybe more your speed than this girl, because this girl is really not your speed. The Islanders come back, obviously, with the Bombshells from their dates, and you have, Miguel is very happy. He had an amazing time. It was an amazing date. I don't want to knock it. It was an amazing date. So he tells the guys that this was the best date he's been on, and so that's cute to see. You also have the girls just talking about their dates with the guys and how that went and how they feel. And everyone is justified to feel how they feel about their experience, because I think it was a cute date. It was a cute date. Given some of the dates that the UK version has been sent on, this was amazing. I loved the floating sort of bar concept. I don't know whether I would have been able to jump into the ocean, but it looked really cute and it really looked different to most of the stuff that they've done. And so you could tell that Kendall has seen that the door's shut for him and that she's not feeling him that way, because he was told that, Miguel was able to get a kiss. And so I think he's realized that maybe she's not feeling him as much as he was feeling her. And I think from this point, he's going to be putting a lot more pressure on Nicole to see if he can get Nicole into his good book, back into Nicole's good books and sort of secure himself, because Kendall looks like he's just there to play the game. He just wants to be in the villa for as long as he can, and if that means sucking up to Nicole, he's going to do that. I hate labeling people, but I don't know what to label Cordell, because the audacity for him to keep buying what Serena is selling him doesn't make sense. Because Serena is saying to the girls, I feel like Cordell is still my number one, even though I had a great date with Nigel. I think she realized that Nigel is not feeling her, so she's decided to go back to her safety blanket. And so she was setting the way for that. Because if she felt like he was still her number one, she should have told him soon after they were allowed to speak to one another. She should have pulled him aside. But she waited until she had gone on a date and seen whether or not she got a spark with the new Bombshell. That doesn't make sense. If I were her, I would have explained to him soon after the game that I'm sorry I embarrassed you by not picking you or by not sticking around, but this is why I made this decision. I'm still open to getting to know people, so I didn't want to commit myself to you, but know that you're still my number one at the moment. And for him to be so gullible that he ate up what she sold him doesn't make sense. She told him that, you're still we went on a date, he asked for a kiss, I'm just joking, I didn't kiss him, and you were so excited. And it's like, seriously, how many times or how many ways do you want her to tell you that you're not it for her? She's not feeling you. Just because she didn't kiss Nigel doesn't mean that had he shown her interest, she would not have kissed him. If he had come in and said she was in his top two, she would definitely have kissed him. But because she didn't crack the top two, this is why she's behaving the way she's behaving. And for you to buy that and say, I'm happy that we still have a chance, I don't know what else you need to hear. I don't know what else you need to hear in order for you to know that this girl is not it for you, and maybe it's time for you to focus on other things. Leah finally had a conversation with Connor. Karma has come a calling for Connor. The way he treated Janae badly, now it's embarrassing for him, because now he's left in the open. He's got no other connection with anyone in the villa, because his only other connection was Janae. And because when Leah said yes to him, he got so excited, he started bad-mouthing Janae. He can't go back there. He has to learn. Yeah, Kendall telling him this is a lesson for him to learn. Yeah, it's good for him to learn, but what does he do? No other girl finds him that attractive that way in the villa, or that we've been shown that is interested in him that way. So I hope Janae doesn't give him a second look. I hope she doesn't give him a second look. I hope she focuses on the two new Bombshells, and within those Bombshells, she'll find her person. If she doesn't find a person, she can go to Casa and she will find somebody else. But this guy is not it for her. The fact that you had, Kayla and Serena sort of peeping when Connor was being broken up with was sad. It was sad, but hey, it is what it is. So you have Rob pull Leah for a chat. And for me, this was telling. I think this was very well choreographed. I think the producers must have had a hand in this, because I think had Leah known that, Rob was going to break things off with her completely, she wouldn't have broken up with Connor. But she broke up with Connor because she thought this was her way of finding her way back to Rob, and sadly this backfired because Rob then sat her down and asked her, you know, you've been lying to me for a while and I've just been listening, and finally I've managed to find out the truth that you actually were mainly involved in getting rid of my connection, and so I feel some type of way about it. And Liv came in, and I have to say, finally, justice for Janaea, because Janaea has been taking a lot of Leah's wrath, because Leah has been speaking to her in some kind of way, and I think Leah feels intimidated by Janaea and wanted Janaea sent home. This could have been one of the reasons why she went after Connor. And so for Liv to stand 10 toes deep and go head to head with Leah, I take my hat off to her. I take my hat off to her. And Leah sadly was out of her depth. She didn't realize that Liv is not the one or the two, because she gave her smoke. And Leah started, but I think she was used to intimidating people and saying whatever she wanted to say and nobody sort of retaliating. And for Liv to say, no, I stand on business. I believe in telling the truth. I believe in owning my crap. You were there. We discussed this, all four of us, and we made a decision that we were going to stick to, and we agreed that we wouldn't blame one another. Suddenly you are blaming everybody else for your mess. That's not on. That's not on with me. That's not on with the rest of the girls. So you need to own your shit. And so I give her credit for that. I know Serena eventually ran over, because Serena is, you know, Leah's protector. I don't know what makes her feel like. I don't know how they align, really. I don't know how Serena and Leah are aligned, because Leah is not one of the nicest girls in the villa. She is mean-spirited to the rest of the girls. So the idea that somehow Serena is aligned to her doesn't make sense in my head. It doesn't make sense, because some of the ways she's spoken to the other girls, if that were my friend, I would pull her aside and tell her this is not it. The countless times she's been disrespectful towards Janaea, and Serena has been there and just watched it, and just she calls herself best friends with Janaea. Doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, the tears, what do you expect? She was out of her depth and she didn't know what else to do. And the guys, you could tell, were taken aback by Liv, because Liv was going back to back. She wasn't, you know, going to back down and allow Leah to railroad the way she railroads other people. So it's really sad that it's just come to this, but at the same time, the truth has been exposed. Do I feel sorry for Connor for being broken up with? No. Do I feel sorry for Leah for being told off? No, because they were very malicious and very vindictive towards Janaea, and we didn't have a reason or a justification as to why they were going after her so hard. So the idea that somebody else has come after them and has given them smoke, I'm here for it. I'm celebrating and I'm so happy, and I can't wait to see the fallout of the fallout, because obviously there's going to be a part 2 to this, and I can't wait to see it. Do I feel Rob is the victim? No. Rob is just as guilty. He's just looking for a way to get empathy from other islanders, and he's looking for a way to evict Leah, because he feels aggrieved by the fact that she was responsible for his girl going home. Did he like his girl that much? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think he found her tolerable as compared to Leah, but I don't think he felt for her the way he's making it out to seem like, oh, this was it for me. I had no one else. This was the end of the world. No, I don't think so. I think she was a convenient coupling for him. I think it was someone he could tolerate and someone he was willing to bear with, but I don't think he really liked her as much as he made out, because had he liked her that much, he would have left the fella. I think his goal at the moment is to get rid of Leah, and he's going to do anything within his power to get rid of her. That's just my opinion. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 12. Bye guys.